The following is an exclusive presentation of the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the AHSAA Radio Network.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside the AHSAA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson. Thanks again for being with us this week. It is truly appreciated. We have fun each week bringing you all the information from the AHSAA, and of course, last couple of weeks, specifically, we have focused on football recruiting. That will be no different tonight. We're going to have John Garcia on in our our third segment. He will be on to talk about recruiting in the state of Alabama. There are some guys that right now are still undecided, and they're very, very big names. By the time you see this, by the time this airs, they will have probably signed, so maybe some of the drama's taken out of it. But it would be funny to see if what John says matches up with what these kids do. We're also going to have Coach Smitty on from Park Crossing. He's done a phenomenal job at Park Crossing. That is a program that is certainly on the rise, and he is a great coach. He'll be on to talk about a couple of the prospects that are on his team. We'll be back in just a minute to get started with Inside the AHSAA.
The CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
No, wrong! Bring it in, guys! Take a knee! Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste? Coca-Cola! And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who? Coca-Cola! How is Coca-Cola going to give real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius! Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it? Yeah! At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero Cola.
Take a lap! Coke Zero! Real Coke taste!
0 calorie!
Hunter Price is Coosa County's Alpha Insurance agent and has the knowledge to help you with all your auto, home, and life insurance needs. With Hunter and Alpha Insurance, you have a team of professionals to access your needs, save money, and give you the personal one-on-one service in your time of need. Visit our main branch in downtown Rockford or call us at 256-377-4955 for all your insurance needs.
Call Alpha. We are Russell Medical, and this is our corner of the world, where families discover nurses and doctors as excellent as any in the state, and the embrace of world-class care is as close to home as a trip to the grocery store, where the continuity of care isn't lost in exhausting miles of road, but just down the street. We are Russell Medical, and this is our corner of the world.
Welcome back into Inside the AHSAA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson, joined now by Coach Smitty from Park Crossing. Coach, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing perfect. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. So you've had a little while now to digest the season. You guys had a really good year. What are your thoughts looking back on the season now, and where do you think you need to improve going forward?
Well, we just got to learn to finish. We really had a good football team this year and had an opportunity, I think, to make a really deep run. We ended up losing in the second round at Opelika. We've got to find a way to get over that hump of winning a big road game in the playoffs in a tough atmosphere. That's the biggest thing. We've been up there 2 years in a row now and had a team good enough to win and didn't get it done. So we've got to learn how to play in that environment a little bit better.
Let's talk about a couple of the players that are leaving the program. That's Cam Taylor and then Tank Jennings, both of them. Neither one of them's committed. Neither one of them obviously signed. Tomorrow is signing day. What are your thoughts about these kids, and can you tell us where they'll end up?
I think Tank is still truly undecided as of right this minute. I think he's got a tough decision in front of him. he just doesn't know. He's got 2 or 3 really good opportunities, and he doesn't know what he wants to do.
What about
Cam? I think Cam settled on his choice, and I don't want to say for him because they want to do the whole reveal tomorrow. I think Cam pretty much knows where he's going, but Tank is completely undecided right this minute.
Well, by the time this airs, they will have signed. So no, but I don't want you to even potentially take away any of their glory. So I will say this though: I'm a recruitnik myself. I've heard a lot of buzz about Nebraska for Cam Taylor, and a lot of buzz about Texas A&M and Oklahoma for Tank Jenkins. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think you're pretty accurate, especially for Cam. With Tank now, I think he is truly undecided. I think A&M came in late, of course, after Coach Fisher got the job. It was, they weren't in the mix until then. He loved his visit to Oklahoma. He's got a great relationship with the coaches at Ole Miss. I just don't. I would not be surprised at any decision he makes. It would not shock me, no matter which one he chooses.
How do you think these players feel? Is there any animosity at all about Alabama and Auburn's maybe not pursuing them a little more, or did both of them kind of want to get away and get out of the shadow of Bryant-Denny and Jordan-Hare Stadium?
I think Tank does. He had an opportunity to commit to Auburn in the summer, and he just wasn't ready to make a commitment, and they really wanted him to, and when he didn't, they moved on. So I think there's a little animosity there for him, but he didn't really understand their point of view. You know how this recruiting process works. They can't sit and wait. They've got to continue moving forward, and
that's right.
So I think with him there may be a little bit, not so much with Cam.
So next year, you guys, who's going to be the prospect on that team, or more importantly, from your perspective, because you're only concerned about Park Crossing most likely, who is going to be the leader on that team?
We've got a couple of guys that are getting a lot of attention right now. We've got we call him our buck linebacker. He's a stand-up outside linebacker. His name's Darius Hodges. He currently has a Central Michigan offer, but he didn't camp at all last summer, and I think he's going to blow up. He's a 6'2", 240-pound kid that can really run. He's athletic. I think he will end up being a big-time guy. And then we've got a corner that's long. He's 6'2", 180 pounds, 4'3", 4'4" kid. His name's Takori Turner. This was his first year playing football since 7th grade, and he's going to explode this summer. So those are probably the two biggest recruits we'll have next year.
Coach, you're playing in that Montgomery area that really has had some football revitalization, I would say, almost a renaissance on the gridiron. Who is the best player you guys played against this past year?
Probably James Foster, the quarterback at Sidney Lanier. Him, and I'm going to tell you, there's a kid at Clay Chalkwell. I don't know his name. He's number 44. He's a junior. I think he recently picked up an Alabama offer. He's a defensive lineman, and that kid was really special. Those are probably the two best players that we faced this year.
Guys, when you bring up a defensive lineman against all those other great quarterbacks and skill position guys you guys played, he must have really turned your head.
He did. He was by far the best lineman that we played against. And you're right. We played some really good skill players this year. We played against the Ruggs kid at Lee. We played Lanier. Carver's loaded with him. It's just that kid, when you see it, they're a premium now. Defensive linemen are hard to find, really good ones. And that kid was definitely one of the best ones we saw.
So do you agree with me, though, that Montgomery has had a big turnaround when it comes to football? Because when I was coming up, the Montgomery area was where it was at. I mean, that's where the powerhouse teams were. And then it seemed like they tailed off for a while. But I'm like you. You talk about James Foster at Sidney Lanier. I thought they had a great year. Robert E. Lee looks a lot better. JD's a lot better. You guys are always in the mix. You can't ever discount Prattville no matter what kind of times they've fallen on. I just think Montgomery, the whole Montgomery area is doing phenomenally.
It is. Even the private schools here had really outstanding years. I think for us, the 5 public schools in Montgomery, The biggest thing, we've got some quality coaches here, but we've done a lot better job of, number one, keeping our kids in Montgomery. For a long time, they were leaving. They were going, out to the other counties and other towns around us. And the second thing is we've done a lot better job in the classroom of making sure our athletes are academically eligible to go to college. And I think that combination has really helped with the recruiting interest. I'm telling you, Montgomery, every coach, every Power 5 school in the Southeast comes through Montgomery. It's unbelievable in this time of year, and then again when spring training starts, the number of coaches that come through these schools is just amazing.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. I know you're a busy man out there doing coach things right now and a family man as well. So thank you so much again for your time. We'll have you on again soon, okay?
Okay, anytime, guys. I enjoyed it.
That was Coach Smitty Grider from Park Crossing. Does a great job with that program, really does. And that is a program on the rise. There's no doubt about it under his leadership. We'll be back in just a minute with more of Inside the AHSAA.
Team is not something you do alone. Team is plural. Team is arms, legs, blood, sweat, and soul. A lot goes into team. But what we take away stays with us forever.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
More heart.
More drive. More will.
More guts.
More sweat.
More dedication.
More practice. More control.
More clutch.
More hard work.
More fun.
More family.
More love.
More basketball.
Baseball.
College tennis.
More every day.
More everything. More
to come.
More Wilson.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
Take a knee. Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste? Coca-Cola! And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who? Coca-Cola! How is Coca-Cola going to give a real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius! Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it? Yeah! At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero Cola.
Take a lap! Coke Zero. Real Coke taste.
0 calorie.
Where there's action, there's Encore. Professional. Responsive. Dedicated. Encore Rehabilitation.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
We are Russell Medical, and this is our corner of the world, where families discover nurses and doctors as excellent as any in the state. And the embrace of world-class care is as close to home as a trip to the grocery store, where the continuity of care isn't lost in exhausting miles of road, but just down the street. We are Russell Medical, and this is our corner of the world.
Welcome back to Inside the AHSAA. One of my favorite times of year, without a doubt, is National Signing Day. I'm the kind of guy that would call in sick and to school or to work or wherever and just say, look, I just can't make it in today. I've got to sit back and watch some of these guys sign their paperwork, see where they're going to play for the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. And the best guy to talk to when it comes to who's going where is John Garcia with Scout.com. How's it going, John?
How we doing? It's that time of year. Always fun.
It is definitely always fun, and there is a lot up in the air right now. I want to talk about a couple of guys from the state of Alabama first, and just letting you know this probably will air after they've already signed. So it's going to be interesting to see what you say and then where they actually go. We just had Coach Smitty Grider from Park Crossing on, and we talked about Cam Taylor and Tank Jenkins, and he threw out for Tank Jenkins Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, and for Cam Taylor, it's looking kind of like a Nebraska thing. What do you think these two guys end up?
Yeah, I think Nebraska did a really good job of jumping in on him once Scott Frost fully took over. He was a guy, Taylor is a guy who they identified at the UCF staff and has carried over very, very nicely. I think he'll benefit there. Tank, your guess is as good as mine. As of 24 hours before signing day, he really didn't know. But I get the sense a big, strong offensive lineman like that wants to play in the SEC. I kind of give the edge to Ole Miss. Out of all the schools, they've been on him the longest, in on him for several years compared to Oklahoma and Texas A&M, which have been sort of newer to the party for Tank Jenkins. So I think the familiarity of SEC West School, Ole Miss, helps the Rebels win out. But this thing was very, very, very tight for him all the way through. Heck, Oklahoma was his leader just a couple of weeks ago, and I think Tank's a good example of how crazy things can get leading up to signing day, because you're splitting hairs between these colleges for the most part. But I think if Ole Miss can pull that one off, that will be a nice, gem, crown jewel type of guy for their class, especially considering who they beat to get him.
Exactly. And Ole Miss has come into the state of Alabama and fared very well this year, I think. I mean, Cavante Ruggs is committed there, and I believe they have a couple of other guys from the state as well.
Yeah, a lot of versatile guys, too, who can play multiple positions. You mentioned Ruggs. He can play inside linebacker, outside linebacker, maybe some defensive back. Jalen Cunningham, big two-way lineman, can play O-line or D-line. Ja'Cory Hawkins is a DB who can play safety or corner. So Ole Miss going for versatility, maximum effort with a lot of their Alabama guys. Tank Jenkins won't be an inside-outside guy. He'll be a guard all the way at the next level. But, again, the crown jewel from a really nice haul in the state of Alabama. Jonathan Hess, maybe the sleeper of the group out of Vestavia Hills. Long, lean athlete. Another one. Is he an outside linebacker? Is he a safety? Either way, he'll be able to make plays in this modern era of college football where you need guys who can do things in space. And I think Ole Miss did a really good job finding those type of guys on defense.
Yeah, get to the cafeteria early if you're an Ole Miss guy, and Tank Jenkins and Jalen Cunningham are on that team, right?
Yeah, I mean, envision, if Jalen goes over to offense eventually and finds a home, imagine that as the Ole Miss starting offensive guard. Good luck, trying to get into the A-gap there. I think that's probably the plan for Matt Luke and company. Matt Luke, former O-line coach, former O-lineman. I know he's got to love that in the middle, potentially one day. And like you said, that's a lot of weight. We're pushing over 700 pounds right there.
Well, the biggest target left in the state of Alabama is also the top target in the state of Alabama, and that's Justin Ross at Central of Phoenix City. Where's it looking like he's going to end up?
Another good question, Luke. This state, the top guys really drew it out. As of, again, 24 hours before it was time to sign, we were told Justin didn't really know. He at least had not informed the winning staff at that point. However, leading into it, Alabama really built momentum, it seemed like, really leading into their national championship, and then they hosted him for an official visit not long after that point. It seems like that stage of January was where the Crimson Tide were able to grasp him. Now, was it enough to withhold Auburn, which got the final visit, or Clemson, which for many people was the favorite to land Justin Ross? But, he never came out and named a leader throughout the entirety of the process, which is a rarity in today's game. I think it was that close for him, but in the end, I think the in-state schools got a little too much to pass up, and I do think that strong stretch for Alabama with the national championship and the visit in the middle of January, I think that was enough to push the Tide over the top.
Well, how tired are you, John? I mean, this has been a grind always when it comes to National Signing Day, but now you throw in that early signing day, and for you guys, it's probably a lot of extra work, isn't it?
Yeah, it just comes a little sooner than expected, and on the back end for the February signing day, the kids who typically maybe won't be so highly thought of and so highly covered become the true storylines. Your Malik Langhams, James Fosters of the world became recruiting stars in this class of 2018, basically because of their early signing period. If you missed on a D lineman or a quarterback in the South, you basically had to recruit one of these two guys. So it made things that much tougher on the kids, and I think that's why going into this signing day, there was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of late movement. I think Malik Langham had a change of heart in the last 24 to 48 hours. James Foster was down to 2 back and forth in the last 24 hours. It really increased the attention on a smaller group of prospects who otherwise weren't really prepared for it. So I think it made it that much harder for the kids, which, eventually makes it a little harder on us trying to figure out where they're going to go with all the late twists and turns. But that's the beauty of it, right? That's the final stretch of the process that is kind of the Super Bowl for us in the recruiting industry. So it's definitely more work, and it feels like 2 true signing days, and that's something that we probably weren't prepared for this time around, to be honest.
Well, John, you do the best job in the business, and we appreciate your coming on every single time that you do. We've been using you a lot here lately, so we'll give you a little rest, okay?
We appreciate it, Luke. Thank you so much for having me.
And that was John Garcia with Scout.com. Really is the best in the business. Call him just about every week this time of year because there's so much happening, especially in the state of Alabama, where the high school football is really second to none. We'll be back to wrap up the show on Inside the AHSAA.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
No, wrong! Bring it in, guys! Take a knee! Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste?
Coca-Cola!
And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who?
Coca-Cola!
How is Coca-Cola going to give real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius! Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it?
Yeah!
At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero Cola!
Take a lap! Coke Zero! Real Coke taste!
0 calorie!
June will mark 10 years of providing quality t-shirts, athletic uniforms, and promotional products for Lee Apparel. Our success is due in large part to the customers we serve in the Lake Martin community and the great state of Alabama. Our hopes are for many more years of success and growth. Contact Lee Apparel today at 256-825-0197 or on the web at leeapparel.com.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
Where there's action, there's Encore. Professional. Responsive. Dedicated. Encore Rehabilitation.
Team is not something you do alone. Team is plural. Team is arms, legs, blood, sweat, and soul. A lot goes into team. But what we take away stays with us forever.
Hunter Price is Coosa County's Alpha Insurance agent and has the knowledge to help you with all your auto, home, and life insurance needs. With Hunter and Alpha Insurance, you have a team of professionals to access your needs, save money, and give you the personal one-on-one service in your time of need. Visit our main branch in downtown Rockford or call us at 256-377-4955 for all your insurance needs.
Call Alpha.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
But that's going to do it for this episode of Inside the AHSAA. Again, we appreciate you each and every week because we have so much fun doing this all the time. It really is a highlight of our week to get to talk to these coaches, to these recruiting analysts, to all these players. It's a lot of fun for us, and so we hope it is for you. We'll catch you next time on Inside the AHSAA.